Hi, everybody. We are East Carolina University. Our team name is the Avengers, and we are discussing the Great Divide today. You go to the next slide for me. This is the team members consisting of a bunch of people from ECU. So for our Great Divide, this has been a huge issue arising over the past few years with the coronavirus pandemic, and we will be talking more about what the Great Divide means in itself. You go to the next slide, I will pass this off to Katie. She actually has a personal issue that she felt that would come up with this.
So I grew up outside of East Carolina University, 30 minutes down the road, and we have DSL. Even though I have technology to use the internet, I don't have access to the internet. And then what we explored was people who do have internet, but then they don't have access because they don't have devices to use it. All right, and now I'm going to pass it off to Alex. All right.
So the issue is the digital divide has long been a challenge for learners across the state of North Carolina. This was highlighted with the pandemic. All right. This pandemic with online learning becoming more common, the goal of this datathon was to find a solution for post-secondary attainment across the state with the help helping to close the gap, the digital divide.
So in this graph, we actually see multiple attainment rates. This is the K-12 success through, we got graduation, ACT, and as well as attainment rate. All of the graduation rates are similar, but as we see, there are three distinct lines. We got the blue, orange, and red representing Wake, Orange County, and Mecklenburg County. They actually have higher ACT percentages, above 17, and that we can see a correlation with that between the attainment rate to colleges. So on this slide, we actually have another bit of data relating the attainment rate with the internet availability and the income in these select counties. So if you could click these two counties, we can all see that they are very high on each one. So we believe that this is from the income and the internet availability. It affects the attainment rate for the colleges in both of those counties. For the next one, we could see that the lower income and lower internet available counties, they have lower attainment rates.
It's been proven that along with access to internet, literacy to use such internet helps develop important personal and interpersonal skills, which can translate into better jobs and a higher average income for citizens. I'm going to pass it off to Tim.
So this is our proposed solution, and it has 4 steps. First step is to strengthen the 5G infrastructure around the state, upgrading some 4G towers and building 5G towers in remote areas of the state on school grounds, because as we know, every school in the state has internet connectivity. Following step is to provide 5G enabled routers to households in those remote communities, so that the devices they have can be connected to the network that everybody else is.
All right, can we actually go back to, I wanted to explain that graph real quick. So for this graph, we actually see the average weekly wage, which is also the income versus the average population. So most of the counties on the right side that are actually getting cut off, they are very high population, and as well as the very high weekly wage. And then on the other end, we have the low population, low weekly wage. So those could be correlated, but then we see an outlier in Orange County. So we actually chose Orange County for this specific reason, to see if there was a difference in the internet availability or the income in that area to provide a larger weekly wage versus the rest of those. And this will be Alex.
All right, so our plan is, we want to use advertisements from Google or Facebook or both. Use like a tax, a percentage of their gross ad revenue to help pay for the deployment of mesh networks. Ideally, this would result in more communities across all areas having more connections and minimize the disparity between higher income and lower income cities and towns.
And through this graphic, we actually decided that it would be a revolving door. So you would start with a catalyst that would secure the investments into the internet. And once you have internet, you will be able to get more ad revenue through those new internet users, which will then return funding to the higher attainment and more internet for more users. And then this is the graphic showing the revenue, how every single year it will be going up for Google. Just keep going, we gotta do this. And this is the data sets that we have to use. All right, thank you. All right, now we gotta.